Hey everyone, so I was browsing through some budget bases the other day and honestly, most of them feel like they were put together in a factory that also makes plastic lawn chairs. You know the ones, super light, the neck warps after a month, and the pickups sound like they're picking up radio static. Then I came across this Ibanez Premium SR2605 and Cerulean Blue Burst in, well, it's like someone finally said, let's make a base that doesn't sound like it was designed in the 90s. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the build quality is night and day compared to anything in this price range. The body is solid mahogany, which gives it a nice weight without feeling like you're lugging around a cinder block. The neck is a 15-piece laminate panga, maple, paddock, purple heart, walnut, so it's super stable and the grain looks insane under the light. I've played bases that cost twice as much that didn't have this kind of craftsmanship. The finish on the Cerulean Blue Burst is glossy but not overly shiny, so it shows off the wood without screaming "look at me." The electronics are where this bass really starts to shine. It's got a 3-band EQ with a mid-sweep control that actually lets you dial in a tone instead of just boosting or cutting. I plugged it straight into my amp and was able to get a clean jazz sound, a growling funk tone, and even a punchy slap sound without touching an outboard pedal. The panga fingerboard feels slick under the fingers, which makes fast runs and tapping way more comfortable than on a typical rosewood board. I've been using this bass for rehearsals and the low B string stays in tune even after I've been slapping it for an hour. Playability is another area where this bass excels. The slim SR neck profile is one of my favorites. It's thin enough that my fingers don't cramp up during long sessions, but it's still substantial enough that I don't feel like I'm playing a toy. The 34-inch scale length is standard for 5-string basses, so it balances tension and playability really well. I've played basses with necks that were either too thick or too thin, and this one just feels right. The bridge is Ibanez's standard design, which is solid and stays in place, so you don't have to worry about intonation shifting after a few weeks. Tone-wise, this bass surprised me. The humbucking pickups are voiced warm but articulate, so you get plenty of low-end punch without the mud that plagues a lot of budget basses. I ran it through a Sans amp and a dark glass pedal, and it handled both clean and overdriven tones beautifully. The mahogany body adds a natural warmth that's perfect for recording or live use. I've used this bass for a couple of gigs now, and it's held up great under stage lights and in humid conditions. One thing I really appreciate is the attention to detail. The fretwork is clean, the nut is properly cut, and the tuning machines hold pitch well. I didn't have to do any setup out of the box, which is a huge plus for someone who doesn't want to spend hours tweaking their instrument. The hardware is all Ibanez branded, so it's consistent with the rest of the build. The only thing I might change is the stock strings. They're fine, but if you're used to something like D'Addario NYXL or Rotasound swing bass, you might want to swap them out sooner rather than later. Now, it's not perfect. The Cerulean Blue Burst finish is gorgeous, but it does show fingerprints and smudges pretty easily. If you're someone who sweats a lot or plays in a dusty environment, you might find yourself wiping it down more often than you'd like. Also, while the bass is lightweight, the neck dive is a bit more pronounced than on some other SR models. It's not a deal breaker, but it's something to be aware of if you're used to a bass that sits flatter on your lap. Overall, this Ibanez Premium SR2605 is a fantastic value for the price. It's got the build quality, electronics, and playability of basses that cost twice as much, and it looks incredible doing it. If you're in the market for a 5-string bass that won't hold you back, this is one to seriously consider. Check it out using the link below if you want to see more details or grab one for yourself.